Okay, it's 6:30. I call the meeting to order of December 8th, 2025. We'll begin with Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call vote. Wayland.
Yes.
DeShano.
Here.
Eddie here. Campbell. Here. And Schlander has left us with a letter an hour and a half ago. But I'm going to read through the
Is that going
Kawkawlin
to
communications. You can put whatever you want. Well, I assume it's a communication, it's a resignation.
But when we've accepted resignations in the past, we accepted them underneath new business or communications.
So you want an agenda and put it under new business?
Yeah, because we haven't accepted the agenda yet.
Okay, motion to put Taylor for the clerk's resignation under new business.
Item 13.
Item 15, or 13.
So at this point, she was classified as absent. So it's under item 13. Other than that, I make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes?
Never
You
received
got any?
any.
No minutes received.
Public comment?
Can we back up to the minutes for a minute?
Okay.
We've never received a copy of those. They've never been posted on the website, which should have been done within 8 business days. The danger there is that we don't even have a draft. And if we just bypass it, then I guess we just say there's no minutes for that since we didn't even have a draft.
Actually, we had this happen in the planning commission, and if no minutes come up, they are automatically adopted as written.
But we've never received anything.
Correct. So the record must show that there were no minutes given out, but whatever minutes are in the computer system under the Open Meetings Act, they become a permanent draft.
I'm not comfortable accepting something I've never seen.
Janie, were there minutes done?
How about we table accepting the minutes till the LP meeting?
I don't
No,
know.
you can't do
No,
that. That's 30 days.
Yeah.
Well,
The only other thing we can do is if Janie can pull those up on the system so that we would have a copy of the minutes. Because anything that is not personally seen or approved tonight becomes law tomorrow. That's the rule.
I'm not comfortable with mine.
I see it bobbing head
so if
over.
you're not comfortable, what are our options that would make you comfortable?
We need to see what's available for minutes so that we can modify what needs to be modified.
Would you mind pulling them up for us?
I can write down the names necessary during public comment if she can pull those up.
Public comment. Agenda items only.
Just a minute.
My fault.
Sorry.
I set you up for failure.
I consider this under old business because it's about a FOIA, so
Your name and address.
Sheila Johnroe, Monitor Township. On November 24th, 2025, after delivering my public comment before this board, an interaction occurred between Supervisor Brad Eddy and myself that I believe warrants formal acknowledgement and correction. At the conclusion of the meeting, after adjournment had been called, Supervisor Eddy stated to me, "Facts, you got it. I'm just glad you lied for her." I responded that I did not lie for anyone and that I had simply provided public comment. And Supervisor Eddy then replied, "Oh, don't worry." Because the tone and the content of his remarks suggested an insinuation of dishonesty, I asked, "Are you retaliating against me?" And he responded, "Nope, I don't need you." This interaction is captured in the township's official video recording or audio recording in the last few minutes of the recording, which I obtained through FOIA. Therefore, there is no dispute regarding what was said. I would like the following facts to be clearly understood. I did not lie for anyone. I was not asked, encouraged, nor influenced by any person to speak on their behalf. My public comment was entirely my own initiative, based on issues I observed and felt were appropriate to raise. I am a capable individual who speaks for myself and does not act as a pawn for anyone. Every question I brought forward was rooted in concern about integrity, transparency, and accountability, values that this board claimed to uphold. Additionally, Supervisor Eddy's remarks conflict directly with statements he made during the special bill paying meeting on November 20th, 2025, where he said, "You need to be treated fairly." I am a leader, not a boss. When people do things wrong, I feel I have an obligation to call it out. What matters the most is public's opinion. Integrity and transparency is every bit of what I did. I am about hearing from the public. Well, in my experience, I was not treated fairly, Mr. Eddy. I was not treated as a member of the public whose opinion matters. I was not responded to with leadership, transparency, or integrity. Instead, I was met with insinuations of dishonesty and comments that reasonably imply retaliation or the potential for it. Under Michigan law, intimidation or implied retaliation by an elected official towards a citizen for participating in public comment is improper and unacceptable. The statement, "I do not need to retaliate," is especially concerning as it suggests both the ability and the consideration to retaliate against a resident for speaking publicly. I consider these remarks to be inappropriate, unprofessional, and attempt to discourage or silence my participation in township governance. As a township resident has stated, when you're providing proof, puts a large target on your back. I believe my experience reflects that concern. For these reasons, I am requesting a public apology from you, Mr. Supervisor Eddy, for the statements that you made towards me after the November 24th meeting. This request is not made lightly. It is made to preserve the integrity of our public process and to ensure that residents may continue to speak openly without fear, intimidation, or implied retaliation.
I'm sorry, Ms. Johnroe, for how you took it.
I couldn't take it any other way.
Public comment. Public comment. We're going to move on to a financial report. Never had one who does this. Financial report.
With this,
Is it usually the treasurer's report or?
I think so.
I assume so.
Yes. Change it next time. Sorry.
Financial review, both treasurer and bill pay, okay?
We did get a check disbursed with the report this time. I don't know that you've gotten one of those before, so it kind
I
of
have.
probably threw you off a little bit.
So you can triple slash check. I'll get it ready.
Just a couple of notes on the general reconciliation. There's still a number of adjustments here. One of those was removed at the end of November to reduce that amount slightly. We still have many that are outstanding dating back to April that need to get fixed. On the cash and investment accounts, on the fourth investment account listed there, which is marked by an asterisk, this was a CD that matured. That money was temporarily moved out of that CD, and it still shows a balance of $5,473.41. That is the result of an audit adjustment, which still has not been corrected. When we go through the auditor recommends a list of adjustments. They are to be put into the system on the last day of the fiscal year and reversed on the first day of the next fiscal year. That process has yet to be completed properly, so it shows there's a balance there when there really isn't. I did speak with the deputy clerk about these concerns as well. But those have yet to be fixed.
Lori, are you talking about the one that's under financial plus?
Yes.
For 5,473, or the one that's stating 5,015?
I think that's actually the interest that we earned. The
So
$5,015.
there should be no ending balance, you're saying?
Correct.
So it's
Because
supposed to be
unfortunately, the timing of it, I couldn't put the money back in to renew the CD until December 1st. So that'll show on the December investment report. But that balance is erroneous that is listed there.
So that number of $693,821 is off by $5,473, correct?
Correct. And actually, you can see that on the second line there for the savings plus, that's actually where the proceeds were moved to, which you can see in the total debits column.
Thank you. I would make the motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second. Roll call. Whalen.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
DeShano.
Yes.
Eddie, yes.
So I think the next piece of financial would be to, yes. Bill pay?
I think we should table it until the bill pay meeting.
Okay.
Motion to table bill pay.
For 2 weeks down the road?
Yes,
correct?
sir.
I'll second that.
Roll call. DeShano.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie, no.
We also will need to do an approval of payroll. I did share some of that information with Charlie when he had requested it. Those were supposed to come forward with bill pay. So,
But we can accept the payroll loan, and I would make a motion to accept the payroll as documented.
Second.
Roll call. Campbell.
Yes.
DeShano.
yes.
Eddie, yes. Whalen.
Yes. Before we go further, go back through the minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, first off, I don't know. I think it would just be these two, because this is October 22nd, and that would have actually technically come forward on November 10th. So I don't know that we can do that one. I think we may have approved this. Let me just real quick get my packet, because I think we may have approved that actually at the November 10th, so. Sorry.
Which one are you thinking is approved?
October 22nd, I think we have one.
October 22nd was approved last month.
And it shows right here.
What?
It shows right here it was approved minutes.
Yes, October 22nd was already approved.
So it's just the 10th and the 24th.
Yes.
Is the 10th still viable even though it's that old?
Yes, because this
Yes.
is the next regular.
Next
meeting.
scheduled meeting.
And the first thing I see is the motion to amend where it lists 13A. That one was kind of confusing. We've broken it into two. So it was actually the first part of 13A. And we kept the second part on there for the winter taxes.
Correct. We called it A and B.
Yes. Uh, 13J was also removed. Between I and K. The second motion to motion to amend the agenda, a little tongue twister there, actually needs to be moved up to before the approval of the minutes. Number 3 is web page resolution. Or website posting resolution. On number 7, this end part of the sentence within the next 2 days is incorrect.
So that should read as what?
Stepping down from the Parks and Recreation Committee, period.
Period. That's what I
It could actually say she is stepping down because it was effective immediately. So I would strike the will be and put is.
The resolutions.
I don't, on 10Z, I don't believe there was ever a motion to accept the new building plans, was there? Do you guys recall that? I think it was just meant as a communication.
It was communication.
I think we voted on the communication, but it wasn't to accept anything.
Correct, because I had to go to PC first.
Right. So I think we could probably strike that one. Does that sound fair? Because there was no vote taken to accept.
So I put a
it.
line through it because it has to stay, it just gets redacted.
Yeah. I think that was just the accepting of communications. For 13H, Charlie, I believe you made a point of actually stating the aquatics lead assessment that the amount was going to remain the same, that it would remain unchanged at $65 a parcel.
Correct.
Moving forward, I
There
don't
was
think
no
that's
change this
accurate.
year.
So to hold at $65 per parcel.
Remained the same as 2025 level, I think is how it was stated.
Okay. Charlie, what was your recollection, and I know we're obviously not going to put people through listening to the recording, but when we motioned to hire a new township attorney, you didn't you do a secondary motion on that?
Yeah, there is a secondary, it was a resolution, and the secondary motion was that an officer and a trustee would be.
No, I meant regarding Foster Swift. I thought there was a secondary motion that you made that we would only stay with Foster Swift for the.
Only the wind, solar,
Yeah.
battery
Yeah.
bank.
So that
Correct.
motion is missing here?
Yeah, because that went through before we, no, that went through right after we hired Dave
Yeah.
Jones.
So that was,
that would be-
you motioned, Wayland seconded for Foster Swift to be for the class action only.
Class action only. And
the planning commission.
That's right.
So if I'm correct with those modifications and certain redactions, it is-
I have one more thing I wanted to mention, and you can confirm this for me. When we do a roll call vote and the three that are present vote on it, isn't it required, Charlie, to put the absence on there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that we have to say the other two board members were absent on each of those
On
votes. when
each
we
of
do
the
roll call.
resolutions, and they, in the resolutions as written, are a regularly scheduled meeting, not a special meeting. The 10th was scheduled when we put out our calendar for the year of meetings. And somehow, some way, that is not how it reads in the resolution book.
These motions to remove from the agenda, all of these letters, I would like to see what was removed next to the alphabetical category. Added that.
I believe the easiest way to do that is that there should be a permanent record of the original agenda attached. And that way
Fine.
there is no doubt versus trying to retype this.
I accept that.
We will, so if everybody would go to the back page, which is mainly blank, and just make your note there that we will re-add the original agenda as a note document. And as odd as it sounds, I think the vote should be taken, so it's no question that somebody says, I said it, and only one person said it. So I'll make the motion for it, if someone would second it.
Second.
The motion to accept
So,
the minutes with the changes.
With changes, and to have this specific wording at the end, to re-add original agenda as a note document.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded it?
I first, Brad second.
Brad did. I don't think we had two votes on that. This is the motions to table Foster Swift minus the $600 DDF to pay, and then we have a second, and then it says roll call that passed, and then the,
Oh, what page is that?
It's at the end of the first page and the start of the second page on the 24th. I think that the first motion didn't fly. And then we had the second motion made. It wouldn't make sense to approve one and not to approve the second. I'm not sure that first motion
We
was voted on.
tabled the Foster Swift bill, I thought.
Minus the 600 we had left in the account.
Well, I think that was talked about, but I think the second motion is what actually went.
Oh, to hold them, yes.
Yeah, so I don't think that first motion ever fully happened.
It died.
Yeah, so I think that needs to be stricken.
Redact it, one for solid line through it, so you can't erase it. accept these minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Fire department.
Okay. I'll start off, we already have an account at Covenant, so that's why we send everybody to get physicals, because per part 74, which is everything fire department, anybody new we get has to be sent for physicals. But prior to sending for physicals, I'll send them to a drug test first, because that's the cheaper of the two. Then if they don't pass the drug test, we don't end up running through a $400 physical.
Thank you.
So, I only have one person to send right now, Miss Jonah, which I think Mary's team up the other day over here, so. The graphics on engine 14.2 that we're peeling off are fixed. Clender come and put them back on. They sent the bill. I shipped the bill off to the company that puts them on for R&R, so that's all taken care of. Two duty guys. Michael Hare, who covered Wednesday night, got hired at Bangor, so he will no longer cover duty, so that leaves me a 12-hour hole on Wednesday nights. And Grayson Lasco, who covered 24 on Thursdays, which leaves us a 16-hour hole on Thursdays. I've managed to squeeze Grayson for maybe a couple more, maybe another month or the rest of this month. But once they're gone, then that means I'll have however many hours to cover. So with that, I think there's going to be a time where we're going to have to sit down and figure out how we're going to change our staffing around here. And where we're going to pay for it, and how we're going to do it, because we cannot continue to operate. We can, but to be honest with you, it's the 72 hours I was here last week tends to wear you out after a bit. Chris is here a lot, everybody's here a lot. We're sitting at 701 calls for the year, and we're already at 21 calls for this month. So we'll be 750. So there's going to have to be a sit-down talk and figure out what we're going to do for staffing and how we're going to do it. We can go a couple different ways, but Mike Evans is covering a weekend. He covered his first weekend, did fine, which I had no issues with Mike. Mike's from Reese. He covers some daytime slots in Pinconning. So he got through his weekend pretty much drama-free. He ran 4 or 5 calls, so he's got that. The grant that I got from Power Plan, all the equipment's here, done. Got the check. Lori got the check today, so that's all paid for. It was $493 and some change. I think they gave us $500, and I spent all but $7. So they reimbursed us for all that. Radios. Radios is the next big thing. The radios we currently have, they'll quit making them, but they'll probably be able to fix them for at least the next 1 to 2 years. So looking forward, so we don't get hit with a bunch of radios all at once, I spoke with Procom instead of Anderson. Procom seems to be cheaper with a few things, plus they deal with Kenwood radios and not just Motorola's. So Motorola's, once we have to buy new radios, and try not to fall out of your chairs, but one radio is $8,751.86, which to me is absolutely absurd. That's a Motorola. If we get a Kenwood, it's $4,668.44, which is a little bit more palatable to me, but I still think it's absurd for a radio. But that's where we're at. So I spoke with Kenwood today. I would like to get one so we can try it out. It's 5 to 6 months before it'll be here. That's not Kenwood and that's Procom. That's because the template has to be taken care of by the state of Michigan, and I think nothing moves quick. So if I was to order today, it'll probably be May or June before I'll see a radio. With that, I spoke to Andrew, the rep, today, and asked him if I got the okay to purchase it now, and told him to get it if we could hold off on billing till, say, April 1, which would be our new budget. Right, April 1, end of April, right around there. So it would be paying for it would fall into our new budget year. He doesn't have any. Because it's a Kenwood, he can do it because they write the paper flat. If it was a Motorola, he said I can't do it because there. So because it's a Kenwood, he said he can put a note on it and they won't bill it out until April, which will put us into our next budget, which I think just eases things up and makes things a little easier. So with that, I'm hoping that my grant for the DNR goes through for new dry suits and I won't have to rewrite that. And if it does, I can put in for radios. And at our North Chiefs meeting, Chief Ramsey is also talking about getting all of us together that will need new radios and doing a joint grant to try and get a grant to get radios for everybody, which will ease it up. But if we can get 1 or 2 here or there in the next few years, the mobiles that are in the trucks right now, if they die, they're done. The only saving grace we have is we have an extra one. So if one conks out one of the trucks, I'll just take it out, plug another one in, and we're good for a while. But those ones in the trucks, they don't even make them anymore. When I started here, we had all Kenwoods. There's nothing wrong with the Kenwood. It's just when we got grants, we bought everything from Anderson. So For me, I feel sometimes like Anderson kind of has us held hostage because we only want to pay counties, so I've been conning with Procom with some of their stuff, and they had pretty good success with it, so if I can get this radio, like I said, it'll be 5 to 6 months, so it'll be on the next budget year before it comes. And I gotta go to work. That's really all I got. Yeah.
22 calls.
Motion to accept fire department report.
Second. I'd like to accept that report, but I think we should talk about the radio now since it's 4+ months to get it, which is already the next budget year.
Well, he hasn't provided us with any documentation. Do you want to push that to the finances for the bill placing, which is some documentation for making that decision?
I'd like it documented under the fire department report that we are entertaining the purchase of a Kenwood radio.